Hi everybody, and welcome to today's video on 5 tips for engaging your millennial team members. Now, millennials are the youngest members of your workforce, and in this video we are by extension going to generalize about people who were born between the years of 1980 and 2002. So in advance, please forgive some of the stereotypes. But these are going to be 5 tips that you can use with your younger workforce, the millennial workforce, to keep them happy, effective, and productive in their job. Here's tip number 1. Refrain from restricting internet, social media, or mobile device usage. Now, this is going to require some thought and some work in terms of setting up a structure that works for you in your environment. But in general, millennials tend to want to communicate with each other and within the organization using things like social media, mobile devices, instant messaging, and they're very tech savvy. So figure out how you can use this as an advantage. How can you turn what you might see as a disadvantage into a strength or a positive in your workplace? Millennials tend to be very tech savvy. How can you use that? How can you use their use of Facebook or Twitter or WhatsApp or other different platforms to an advantage in communicating across your teams, but also with your customers, with your partners, with your different stakeholders. So take this and use it to your advantage. Tip number 2, give constructive and positive feedback. Now, again, a generalization, but millennials have tended to get a lot of positive reinforcement from parents, from teachers, from authority figures. And at the outset, they may not respond too well to even things like constructive criticism or criticism of their work or what we might say negative feedback. You're doing this wrong. Figure out how when you're giving feedback, when you're providing coaching, you can do so in a positive way. Focus on what's in it for the team member and how by giving them feedback, this is a good thing, it's a positive thing. So make sure that you focus on positive feedback. Tip number 3 is to allow for some flexibility. So millennials tend not to like tops-down approaches or even bottoms-up approaches. They're looking for collaboration. So that's the biggest thing to think about is in your team setup, in even the workplace setup, how do you encourage collaboration amongst team members? But also from a flexibility standpoint, millennials in general are focused on tasks, on outcomes or output. And so as long as a job is getting done, even if it's in the office or at Starbucks or somewhere outside of the office, have some flexibility about where work occurs. This is really important to a lot of millennials, to have that level of flexibility and to use that as a way to strike a good work-life balance. Tip number 4, be approachable. So millennials, as we've already talked about, value collaboration, and that includes collaboration or engagement with their manager, with senior members of the team in an organization. So adopt a real open door policy. Maybe even consider getting rid of the walls if you have actual offices in your office space. Be approachable, encourage conversation, encourage an environment of collaboration with your team members where you genuinely reflect openness and collaboration and you demonstrate the fact that you're willing to listen, and that includes to members who are younger age-wise in your team. And our final tip, tip 5, is to involve your millennial employees in particular in corporate social responsibility activities. So those activities in which you're reaching out to the community, you're trying to give back, you're really trying to do something better for the community at large or your specific communities that you're working in. Give those millennials an opportunity to volunteer, to use their time, to use their skills. This is very motivational to many millennials and employees in general, but millennials in specific, where they have the opportunity to give back to the community and really feel like they're investing or being involved in something bigger than themselves, and giving back to the community can be very motivating and is something that really will help you as an organization to propel the overall values that you're trying to exhibit in your communities. Thanks for joining us for this video. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, Hit subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you updated on all the videos that we publish. Also, go to our website, register, get access to all of the resources that we have for you on noodlefactory.com.sg.